Hello, YouTubers and all those happen to watch. Hope you're all doing quite well nonetheless. So, okay. Now, previous video before stated that I had a malfunction with my older system, so I had to go to Best Buy and get a new one, which had the same color. I was very happy. Unfortunately, the Best Buy that I purchased it from did not have any more of these in stock. So, 45 minutes down the road, I had to get another one that way. So there you have it. Went to the store, got a new one, and went inside the store, made sure everything worked 110%. It did. And this is the number one confusing thing about this system. New Nintendo 3DS XL, or the new Nintendo 3DS XL. If you say this to an employee, they're just assuming you're talking about the normal Nintendo 3DS XL, which confuses the shit out of them. I don't blame them for being confused. That is a very confusing thing for most people who are in retail. They'll just assume you're talking about the 3DS XL, the regular one. And they're going to be confused as fuck. Again, I don't blame them for being that confused. I was confused at first. Because even though I knew exactly what I was looking for, I was incoherent at that point because I was just as confused as I was like, yeah. But anyway, I digress. Basically, got the new system, and as you remember, the issue I had with it, if you watched the previous video, was the screen down here below had a dead pixel line going down it, which I was thinking one or two things happened. When I transferred the data from my original Nintendo 3DS, maybe it could have corrupted something and made the pixels die, or I don't know what, because when I originally bought this, it was, when I got it from the store, there was no line there. I go and transfer the data, reset the system, and there was a line there, and I was like, oh, you're fucking kidding me. So, generally so, that's how the cookie crumbles. So, I got that all set. Now, the downside of this was my Nintendo ID was attached to the other system, and my other system had quite a few games on it. So, what I had to do, because I was told information of one or two things by another customer support rep, was I had to basically remember my credit card from the older system and recite it to the person right there, or I had to remember all the games that was on my system. So luckily I checked with Nintendo before I even did any of this crap, because otherwise I'd be flipping tables and crying myself to sleep. So, alright. I had over 200 games on my system, as the woman was explaining to me, or the girl was explaining to me. So I went ahead and wrote them all down. I literally sat there for 15 minutes and wrote all this shit down. Every single one of these games. So I wrote all those down, and I baffled the girl, because she was like, what? I was like, yeah, I wrote them all down. She goes, you didn't have to write all those down, you know that, right? You probably wrote down at least 15 or something like that, and would just let it slide. I was like, ugh. So I have to wait 5 to 7 business days because of the requests for people to transfer their data manually is overwhelming for Nintendo, because I'm assuming it's probably the same kind of issue. So they have to do that, and it's unfortunate. So I have to wait till the 5 to 7 business days to get this all sorted out so I can have my original Nintendo ID back on this new system, which I can still play Monster Hunter perfectly fine. I still got the same, I have to re-download a couple things off that. But past that point, yeah, I mean, that's generally all I could say is, yeah, I can link my Nintendo or my ID to this, and then I could be all happy and skipping merrily and all that, which is good. It's fantastic. 2 thumbs up of crazy fortitude. Excuse me. So other than that, I cannot buy any new games or anything like that, because if I do that, that means I'll lose those new games, because they cannot splice together IDs, or in this case, 2 accounts in one, which I understand that completely well. That's how DRM works, which DRM sucks a little bit to that point. So it wasn't so bad, the experience I had with Nintendo. I wish they didn't have the 7-day process where I could just easily transfer an ID to a new system. I mean, yes, you got people who share accounts and all that stuff too, but people like myself who have legitimate problems have to go through more loopholes and more fucking more hoops than normal to basically be able to obtain their data, which to me I have to wait about 7 days or so for my data, or maybe tomorrow. Who knows at this point? Who really knows? But either way, the system works pretty good. Everything works right. So I cannot be more happier. But as the cookie crumbles, I can also say this. I'm happy the system's working. It's functional. The sound works great. The 3D works great as well. So there you have it. So, other than that, pretty happy. I also picked up another game, which I might as well just show it anyway. Screw it. I got this for a couple bucks at a local store, and I saw it really cheap. I was like, it's $5. I thought about it and it ended up being a lot less, so I was happy, and that of course was this. Feel the Magic XYXX. Now it's a mini game like Wario, and if you know what that game is, or the hell was the game called? Having a brain fart. WarioWare Inc. Brain fart from hell exceeded my expectations, so therefore my brain diarrhea exploded everywhere. But yeah, WarioWare. Basically, it's exactly like that, but you can complete it in 45 minutes. So I paid a couple bucks for this. Whatever. It's a decent game. It's alright. It's an interesting concept, but as always, it's just basically a sort of a hybrid of a shovelware kind of game, but it's not bad by any means, just sort of very short. So if you pay anything past $5, you're wasting your money. It's worth at least a couple bucks to even play it. 45 minutes of gameplay, that's generally all there is to this, and it's sort of disappointing in that aspect, but hey, whatever. If you had this when you originally came out and you really enjoyed it, cool, but to me, quite frankly, it's not worth that much. It's more of a budget game. It had to be a budget game. They, for charging $30 for this back in the day, should be ashamed themselves, but anyway, yeah, you get the point and gist of all that. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as for myself, I'm going to enjoy myself some Monster Hunter and eat some dinner. Touch my nipples.